Hi y'all, I'm Miss Stacy. Welcome to Stacy's Homestead, and we got ourselves a bunch of onions. We got a 50-pound bag of onions here I got for $15 at our local food restaurant supply store. So I send my husband there every year to go get me bags of onions because I use them. Last year I did salsa. I still have a bunch of salsa, so I'm not focusing on salsa this year. I caramelized and canned onions also last year, so I don't want to just do that. But if we're gonna caramelize these, okay, so we're gonna do probably canned, just regular onions, and maybe onions and peppers, and then, but for right now, we're gonna caramelize ours in the roaster. We're gonna just chop these up and throw them in there, and I'll show you how to do that. But if you're not gonna use a roaster, you just cook them in, you know, the pan with butter and stuff until they're caramelized. But we're gonna do it the easy way, where I don't have to mess with it. Okay? And just want to let you know that canning onions is 40 minutes. Okay, so if you were gonna can onions all by itself with water or a broth and fill your jars up with onions, 40 minutes, according to the Natural Food Preservation website. But I have paper on it. I always print everything off because I don't like see, I have tons of like printouts right here because I don't want to go and waste my time looking on the internet. I got it right here in my cookbook. So it's from this, I got it from this website right here, the Cooperative Extension of Clemson, Preserving Onions and Garlic. It says 40 minutes basically, so 40 minutes is how you would do that. Because this is technically not an approved canning method. A lot of people, when they first started canning caramelized onions, were like, okay, what time do we use? Because there's no official time. So they just guessed and put on a 70-minute time. So the recipes that you see have a 70-minute time, basically meat times, just to be on the safe side for pints, or 75 minutes even. Cooking their onions to death because it is a rebel canning, and I'm a rebel canner, but I follow times. Okay, I don't rebel on the process. I want to be safe, so I'm always following the times and the rules. And I'm looking up, like, why in the world are we cooking to death onions 70 minutes, and I can't find a reason at all whatsoever, except for maybe people are going by soup times or meat times just to be on the safe side. But the one official time, like I just showed you, is these co-ops and universities, there is a official time for onions, and the official time for onions is 40 minutes. 40 minutes. On the back it says your cooperative extension, Clemson, or in other ones have a official time, which is 40 minutes. So I go by the official time, and I've canned caramelized onions for several years now. I have a jar. I've done it twice. My last time, it was in 2019. I still have jars from them, and they're good. And I did it for 40 minutes. So, but because it's rebel canning, you might want to do the 70-minute time, okay, guys? And then when it comes to soups with onions in it, just do soup times, 60 minutes. That's official, okay? So that French onion soup is going to be a 60-minute for pints and 75 minutes for quarts. And those are the USDA guidelines for anything soup. You can do any soup as long as it's half solids and half liquids for 60-minute pints, 75-minute quarts. So we're going to do. And then there's several French onion soup recipes there. I did one before a while ago, and I messed up, and it was horrible. I put barbecue sauce in it. Ugh. Because I found a recipe that called for that, it just ruined the whole thing. And then they called for sage, and you can't can sage, and I didn't know that. This was years ago. And then I did it again a few years ago, and it turned out awesome, but I never wrote it down. Sometimes, you know, I just do concoctions. And since then, I've learned to write all my concoctions down. Thank goodness. So, but now I have to try to remember what I did and repeat it. But I'm not adding barbecue sauce. And sometimes Worcestershire sauce just doesn't take, I mean, you add that, you better add a little bit because it just brings the flavor differently. So I'm going to have to go buy me some wine. But first things first, we're going to can up or caramelize the onions, okay? So gotta caramelize them before we do any other canning. So we're caramelizing onions for a couple of recipes. Canned caramelized onions, of course, and French onion soup. Maybe some jam, who knows? Hey guys, I got my roaster here, and I got my onions right here. And I'm just gonna take them, my counter space is so small. I always complain about that. Alright, so we're going to take our onions and just chop them up as much as we can and fill up. I'm going to move these onions off the counter. I don't need them all on the counter. And fill them up, our roaster up as full as I can. So, there we go. Wipe this counter off. Okay. So, we're just going to slice our onions. This being a bag of restaurant onions, they're not very, you know, presentable sometimes. So, some might be starting to go. But they're looking good so far. So, you're just going to take your outside skins. I have a freezer full of skins already, but if you don't, save them and put them in the freezer for broth. But I'm just going to put mine in compost. Okay? It's good for the compost. That's all you need to do. Just toss them in there. You can do it smaller if you want, but they're going to break up. Okay? They're going to break up on their own. But don't do it in tiny pieces. You don't want tiny pieces because it's not going to can very good. You know, so, you know, we could do it a little bit smaller. Ooh, my eyes. So I'm going to cut all these as much as I can. Fill this roaster up. Okay, guys. So we have about 30 pounds of onions in here in our roaster. Now, how you caramelize onions in a roaster is super easy. I'm putting one more onion in. You know, I could have cut it long ways. I should have probably done that, but I cut it short ways. That's okay. So, you can cut it long ways too. It doesn't matter. But anyways, you cook it slow overnight, you know. So, I'm just going to put it on overnight. I'm going to put 4 sticks of butter in here. A little over, I'm thinking about 1.25 sticks of butter per pound or so, you know, just guessing. It doesn't have to be exact. So I'm just going to put 4 sticks of butter in here. Alright, so I don't have like sticks per se because I buy it in blocks. So this block, I only took a little bit off. So it's about 4 sticks. This big old block here. Let's see, where's the measuring thing? If y'all want to know. 1, 2, 3. No, maybe 3 sticks on this. I might have to go get another one. So let's see. Alright, so this is 3 sticks of butter. I'll get 1 more stick. Yeah, according to the measuring on the package at least. Yeah, so 3 sticks of butter here. I'll go get 1 more and make it 4. Because I just love that butter. So, just plop it on top. Let me move my roaster so you can see. So you can see. Alright. So we're just going to plop it on top. Put the lid on. A little over 200 for overnight. And that butter's not touching the top. I'll go get one more and put it in, and then we'll see what it looks like in the morning, huh? Oh, and I didn't mention, these are just yellow onions, okay? And I've caramelized several different types of onions, sweet onions, white onions, and in the end, I can't tell the difference between, I really can't tell the difference in taste once you caramelize it. So it really doesn't matter, except for red onions. Red onions tend to mush easier, that's why nobody caramelizes them. They don't hold their texture as good. So, but you can use red onions too, I guess. I never tried it with red. Yeah, so we're gonna do that, and we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. Got my last stick of butter. But yeah, so, I don't really do red onions, but, you can if you want. Now, I'm going to make a couple different recipes out of this, depending. So, for sure I'm making, we're canning, French onion soup. And then I'll probably can a couple jars of caramelized onions. And then we'll see what we have left. But you can do caramelized onion jam. It's just all really good stuff. So, fly. Oh, flies on my food. So, and if you were to cook it on the stove, it'd be quick and easy. You would just chop your onions, put it in a pot, get some butter. You wouldn't have a pot big enough. I wouldn't do a huge amount of onions. Probably half of this I could do on the stove. And then you just keep on stirring it until it caramelizes. Does it really fast. So you could do it that way. You can also use a crock pot. Just keep it on low. But you just can't, you could, I would do it in a crock pot. Keep it on low overnight and just keep on stirring it more often. So you can do that too. But yeah, I like to use my roaster. Alrighty guys, we'll see you in the morning. Alright guys, so my onions are nicely caramelized. There's a lot of liquid in this batch this time. So I think I just cooked it lower, so it really didn't have time to evaporate. But that's fine because I'm going to make soup with it too. So we're going to so right now we're just going to can caramelized onions, okay? And I'm going to take off enough to fill my jars and leave the rest in here for my French onion soup. I have 2 jars left actually. So this one is from 2017 with a used lid. And this is canned, I forget how I did it because it was before I started doing YouTube and I didn't record how my recipes were. I just did it. But I'm pretty sure I just caramelized these in a pan with butter. See? I didn't do it in a crock pot or anything. But these are still good. And then this one I did in 2020 with a Tatler lid. And these also were just caramelized in butter. And see, they're really, really deeply caramelized. So I didn't do anything else besides that. And I pressure canned these ones also for 40 minutes. But I don't want this next batch to be just caramelized in butter. I want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to put brown sugar and balsamic vinegar on it. Okay, so I have a bunch of these little jars here. About 11 little jars. So I figure let's do 11 scoops. And then we'll cook it in balsamic vinegar and brown sugar. But see, they're not as caramelized as the ones I have canned. So these are more lightly done. So that's 1 scoop, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm thinking maybe 8 scoops. might do it for all the jars, okay? And so we're gonna just let the rest of this continue on, and I'm gonna probably just keep it on warm all night because that way it's ready for my soup in the morning for me to make. So put this aside. Now you don't have to do what I'm doing. You can go ahead and just can these up. 40 minutes processing time according to my information, but there's recipes, a lot of them say 70 minutes, so you do you, right? Do 70 minutes if it makes you feel more comfortable. So, I'm gonna get my canning, I'll bring you in. Let me just bring you in. I'm getting pooped here. Okay guys, so here's our pot. And we're gonna just do it to taste, y'all. And remember, brown sugar is gonna get a little burnt if you put too much. So let's not put too much. Let's say a third cup or a fourth a cup brown sugar to start off with. And then let's do about a little dash of balsamic vinegar, not too much. Smells really good. I say about a couple, 2 or 3 tablespoons. Okay, I'm gonna stir it in there. Stir it up. We don't have to cook it in there because it's already cooked enough. We just want to coat it up here. It smells really good. Now they're gonna get darker in the canning process too. So that's why I don't want to can them to death and do 70 minutes like everyone does. When I can't find any place that says you have to do it that way. That tastes good. Sorry, my son's playing a game. So I was saying, I think I like that better, this recipe better than these ones. These I add to recipes here, you know. So dip, I can make dip with these a lot. I don't use them too much as a marinade or add them to soups. But this one I think would be really good as a marinade. Let's see. And just a little bit more balsamic vinegar, maybe. We'll see. After adding a little bit, a dash more cinnamon. Why did I say cinnamon? Brown sugar. That's the ticket. That's delicious now. And then, what I was saying, someone put granulated garlic or garlic powder. I don't know if I have garlic powder, but I have granulated garlic I can add in there. Let me see. I don't know. You know what? I know I had roasted garlic. Here, I'm gonna try putting roasted garlic in. Okay, we're gonna put just a tad of roasted garlic in here. Everyone wants to make noise and come in the kitchen when I'm canning. Does that ever happen to you? Okay. We're gonna just sprinkle it. Sprinkle it a bit. Shush. These poopies. Just a little bit of garlic. You don't want it overwhelming. Just a little sprinkles. Just little sprinkles of garlic. Okay. That's good enough. Perfect. Okay. Now that would be good on a hamburger. Oh, that's perfect. Maybe a little bit more balsamic vinegar. Just a little tad more. A little splash. You know what? Just for giggles, you know what I mean, I want to pH test this and the other onion just to see. Because I wonder if the pH changes when you caramelize. Because it's sugary. So let's get this one into view. I don't know if you can see it. Alright, let's do this one right here. Yeah. Alright, so there's that. Yeah, the pH is not too strong on this. It's a 6. Yeah, 5 and a 6. Just like the books say, the pH is a 5 on that. So that's actually pretty acidic. I mean, it's not where you can water bath, but a 5 is not too bad. I'm sure you can bump that up with something. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is in this pan after adding the brown sugar and the balsamic vinegar. Even though it's, I don't know if balsamic vinegar is a 5%. I don't think it is. Some vinegars aren't. It does not say. It does not say what percent. And I don't have glasses, but someone out there probably knows. And I probably knew at one time, but forgot. Alright, so let's do this. Alright. It looks pretty dark. This is it's not enough to water bath, but it's a deeper 5. You'd have to add a lot more vinegar. Just curious, you know? Alright, so we're, of course, pressure canning it. Alright, let's stir this up and taste it. Okay. I have one little taste. It's really good. You don't want too sweet. Watch that brown sugar. But it's perfect, I think. I don't know. Maybe a little onion powder. Alright guys, so here's the thing, I never can follow instructions, so I end up doing my own thing a lot of times, so I am going to add some onion powder, I think, for some taste here, because even though it's onion powder has a different taste when you dehydrate it. Stronger. This dog wants in and out, in and out. It's like he can't make up his mind. We just let him out. Now he wants back in. Oh, that's a lot. Okay. About a half a teaspoon I put in. In or out, doggies? Alright. Yeah, I need that onion powder, guys. Good. Alright, let's can this. That onion powder just took it to a whole nother level. I think a little bit more. A little bit more roasted garlic, too. We're just spicing it up here. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and put it in our jars. Yum, yum. Good stuff. Alright. These are little jars. We have to get something to poke it down in. Alright guys, So we're gonna fill these little jars up. It's really good stuff. I think this would be really good on hamburgers. Even a dip or soups too. Marinades. And a pie. I gotta use up all the other ones first before I do this one. So these are all the plain ones, just in butter. I gotta use up. There's just a lot of more concocting I gotta do with those. Alright guys, so we're going to debubble there, and then just add a little bit of broth from my pot. And each one here, just a little bit more. Okay, and now let's wipe our ends and put our lids on. I forgot to tell you that if you want, I got vinegar on these rags here. I'm going to separate them into separate ones. But I forgot to tell you, if you want a deeper, more caramelization without so much liquid, just drain off some of the liquid from your roaster. Because you're not cooking it on a stove, it doesn't dissipate as well. So you can just drain it off with a spatula. Put it aside in a pot to make for soup later, you know? So that's what I'm going to do with some of the liquid I have right now in the roaster before I make my French onion soup, just to get a little bit more caramelization on those. Alright, got our lids in hot water. Where is... And we're going to... So the tattlers need a 1-inch headspace. So we're going to save the tattlers for the ones that are the lowest. So put this one on there. I have some used lids. I'm going to use on the ones that are fuller. And then these, I think these lower ones can do tattlers. Finger tight. Wait till the water's warmer. Okay. I think I'll take a little out of this one for the tattler. This one's just a little too much. Tattlers are finicky. You're like, nope, wasn't exactly 1 inch. You're denied. Alright, so let's put tattlers on this one. Move this out of the way. Okay guys, I'm going to do the rest of these and get them in the canner. Come back when I'm done. Alright guys, so we got our caramelized onions in the canner and it's venting for 10 minutes. Now, you'll find that most people like to err on the side of caution and cook the living daylights out of their onions for 70 to 75 minutes because it's not an approved, tested method, so there is no times you can look up. No one's like published a official time for caramelized onions, but there is an official time for regular onions, and I'm going by that rule. I've always done that, and it's worked for me, and my onions turn out and a nice texture, and they're very safe. My onions are, at least. I don't know how you can your onions. So if you want to be cautious, do 70-75 minutes, okay? So I'm going to put the weight on pretty soon and start the timer, and then we'll get back to you when it's all done. Alright guys, so I have a problem. I was bringing my canner up to steam, and I have steam coming out the side right here. I was venting for 10 minutes and just put the pressure thing on, and yeah, that's not a good deal now. Alright guys, so right when I put my jiggler on, I noticed steam was coming out the side right here. I don't know if you can still see. So and it was dripping water right here, so it's early in the canning process. I had to shut it off. I'm going to clean the gaskets and restart the whole process all over again. Clean the gasket on here. Now, I don't oil the gasket because it's silicone, it's not rubber. I never have. What you got to do sometimes is rinse it. And I rinsed it, but I don't think I did it as good as I should have. It's been sitting on the counter in an area under the fan. Dust could have got on it. So, it's happened once before and I didn't catch it, but it maintained pressure the whole time, so it's fine. If that happens to you and you don't catch it, but you know maintain pressure the entire time, your stuff's good. But just to eliminate the if factor, you know, and on those ones I still boiled everything for 10 minutes just to be on the safe side. So I don't want it to be like what ifs, so I'm just bringing it down from the pressure it did have. I'm gonna take it off really quick like. The jars are going to seal. Doesn't mean they're good. They're just going to seal because of the temperature change. I'm not going to worry about reopening them up because what happens in the canning process, they seal, unseal, seal, unseal. That's what you hear, the popping noises. Doot, 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 doot. So once I start canning, they're just going to unseal and pressurize. So, yeah, so it'll be fine. You should, in theory. That's how it's supposed to go. Well, never had to do. I've done it once before, actually, but yeah, so just be on the safe side. Take it down and restart all over again. But like I said, if you maintain pressure and you didn't catch it, it's fine. They're still shelf stable. It happened to me before. Just on the cautious side, I boiled everything for 10 minutes. But yeah, so we're redoing this. Alright guys, so I really quick like ninja took it off, rinsed it really fast, found I felt like grittiness there, so hopefully that was the deal. You know, I rinsed it like I always do, but I have the ceiling fans going in here, so it could have just floated right on that and stuck. Hopefully that was the issue. But also the gasket can get kind of bent too on accident when you take it off and put it back in, so make sure it's seated right as well. So we're redoing it, bending it for 10 minutes, and starting our timer. It shouldn't take too long because I mean I was super fast. So, that should be 10 minutes. Actually, I should do 9 minutes because it's been venting the whole time I've been talking. Alright. Alright guys, time to take it out of the canner. So, let's see. Hopefully everything went well after having to take the lid off and put it back on. I hope I didn't get any siphoning because I depressurized it pretty fast. I mean, it barely built the pressure, but And then I quickly rinsed it and put it back on, and then brought it back up to pressure, did the steam, everything all over again, because that's what you just got to do sometimes for a peace of mind, you know. But where's my jar lifter? Goodness gracious! Oh, here it is. All right. So got little. It looks good so far. My little jars. You know, the best thing about redoing everything is it was onions, and onions are pretty inexpensive to mess up on. If I lost jars and stuff, it wouldn't have been too big of a loss, you know, versus meat or something I really worked hard on. But so far, looking good. We're gonna tighten these down, these tattlers here. Let me put this closer so you can see. Let me get my oven mitts. Tighten these tattlers up real quick. So the top row looks good. No siphoning on that top row. I think it's already sealing, actually. Yeah, so your jars, if you have to redo it like I do, they're gonna try to seal, and that's okay. Just don't mess with them. They're gonna unseal again on their own in the processing time, okay? Yeah, I got something siphoned. I see something siphoned. Yeah, I pushed the little red safety lever trying to kind of hurry up the steam release. So I didn't want them all trying to seal on me, you know. But yeah, I think doing that made a little bit of siphoning. That's okay. Let's see. So we got... I don't see any loss in that one. That's already sealed. This one's already sealed. I think this one might have already sealed. Let's see. Gotta tighten that tatler. Okay. Get the next one. So there's a regular lid and a tatler lid that have brown on it. So it's one of those filled liquid. Yeah, but it looks really, really good. Excuse my son, he's playing video games in the background. He's actually relearning how to play video games. So this little tiny one and giving away, yeah. So, you know, most parents are like, it's the opposite of what you want, right? Most parents are like, I don't want my kids playing video games as often, but he has been unable to play a video game in like 4 years. So, you'd be pretty excited if he's able to do it again. So, and I mean, he's still learning, moving the buttons and stuff, and figuring out how to do it, and re-engaging interests. It's good. So anyway, that's the noise in the background. Okay, this one had brown on top. It's playing some type of Minecraft. It's a drill noise. Alright guys, it's pretty loud. This is the one with brown on top. So, it's bubbling. Could have siphoned a little, but you know what? Things that siphon can still seal. Let's tighten it and see if it seals. Alright, this is sealed too. I can tell. It looks good. Let me move it up here. Oh, I'm so happy. My caramelized onions came out perfect. And they're all sealed. So now you know you can redo it and don't have to worry about, because I already know these jars were sealing. I heard them clicking when I took that lid off. So, but yeah, they'll unseal themselves in the processing time. But yeah, so turned out really good. We're gonna do with the rest. We have a whole lot more caramelized onions, and we're gonna make French onion soup on the next video. I'm doing it tomorrow, so. But this is how you caramelize and can them, though. I'll just talk to you later. We'll just talk to you later and hit the like button. Bye-bye.